Let there be light, and there was light. So I think I'll continue with crucifixion, beginning, and sacrifice. So we've covered quite a lot of information with these three words, although I seem to have focused more on sacrifice, which is the template that we work with anyway. But what has really been very significant is establishing the 666 that showed up here, because on numbers 1 to 9, for instance, numbers 1 to 9, which we work with on the sacrifice template, this here gives us 24. This gives us, this is 4 plus 5. Okay, we have a cross here because we are dealing with sacrifice anyway. And so, but it has another significance, that this is where Mother Eve has directed our path to really get to familiarize ourselves with our north, south, east, and west, which also coincides with the gods. Now, I need to also cover the gods in the sense of 14 gods, but I did one presentation that shows the gods, they work together and they actually form, we could say, 9 sets of, or 9 gods in this sense, instead of just the 14 as I have always been referring to, which they still 14. So you could say, for instance, it's like a business, and you have a partner. So they partner, the gods really partner with each other. And what I am believing in a way to really understand how the gods work for us, because we have been given the gift of language, the gift of free will, if you like. And if we understand how the gods work, or how they partner, and our need for whatever it is, or whatever objectives that we are meaning or wanting to create or to achieve, then with the understanding of the gods, we can call on the gods accordingly. Now, the gods, they do work together, but if we understand, like the partners, those who work in real partnership, why wouldn't we want to call on those instead to achieve? Because there's a harmonious relationship between them. So basically, we are looking at the gods on a whole spectrum, and we are looking at that spectrum, which we call Satan, we call Eve, we call devil, we call evil, and so on. So we see that it's really all of Mother Eve, but we are also seeing that there are functions or specific roles that the gods play out, just like we do in different roles. Some of us are physicians, doctors, teachers, and so on. And this reminds me of the scriptures with the 9 gifts of the Spirit as well. So this is the second time I'm remembering this while I'm having these presentations, which tells me that the gifts of the spirits actually coincide with the 9 gods, or the 14 gods working as 9 different in different order, or 9 orders. It sounds like a restaurant, and you order what it is you want, okay, and you order when you know the quality of the food from whatever restaurant you go to, then you can't really expect to get Chinese food by going to an Indian restaurant. That's what I'm talking about. Now, looking at this here, of course, we have 666. This is where I really encountered a wonderful breakthrough, or it led me to this wonderful breakthrough. But we know that the message here, when we work with numerology, of course, 3 6s are 18. and 1 8. 1 plus 8 is 9. I feel that our journey is really, as Mother Eve has portrayed in the sacrifice template, is really to make that breakthrough of 1 to 8, and of course 9 works itself out, because here it seemed like, well, Mother Eve here is like, really, I've got your back right here, because this E in the eyes, it is a cold stage. Of course, it reminds me like death, because when one dies, the body gets cold. So there's an ice stage there, and it's no wonder it's that ice stage or ice age that equals 24, that coincides perfectly with Mother Eve saying, let there be light, and there was light, because adding these together gives us, this is 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. 2 plus 4 is 6, of course, is 6. And when we write 6, we have 9. This gives us 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So we can see how 7 is really the sacred spiritual number right there. This is where God created everything in 6 days, and on the 7th day, because everything has the beginning, had its end in it, in this sense. So the 6th day, of course, in it had a 7th, because it has to come to a cycle, the end of the cycle. Hence why they said that God rested on the 7th day, and he ended his work on the 7th day and rested. So that I thought was very significant to make note of, and I will love to keep this here, because I feel that we will be referring to this quite a bit, because this is Mother Eve's first spell. So the first letter equals 3, which is here, and the last letter equals 2 for the light, which is 5. So 3 plus 2 is 5. That would be like 32, as I've got on my wall. I'm making this observation because there is a cycle in this spell. It's complete, and it's also denoting beginning and end in itself, because the word end, E-N-D, is 5 plus 5 plus 4 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. And that's Mother Eve, because Mother Eve actually is 14. Eve is 14. And that is which is before any event takes place. So Mother Eve is always present. Basically, that's what we are learning right now, or we have been learning. Now, I would love to concentrate a little bit more on this. What it is that the cake, I use the word cake, that we have been fed, each one of us had a slice of, with the story of Adam and Eve, has been so infused with a rising agent. It has been risen so much so that it seemed to have lost some of its essence. And in that process of losing its essence, it drives our attention to want something more. And wanting something more, of course, because it's exploded, we want to go within now. We want to get closer to home to understand, well, what was in that cake? Or how could I have more of that flavor that I could just about taste? Or, well, yes, I had a slice of it before. It seemed okay, but right now it's not as nice. I can't seem to enjoy it anymore. So it really served us until a certain point, and now we want what we call more. Of course, the word more has been in the middle, or are, because we are seeking something else. So there was something, I've got this here because on a presentation I was working on, having fun on, that I remembered, of course, that Christ rose from the grave on the third day. He rose. Okay, this is it here. He rose again on the third day. I haven't put on the. On the would be on is 11 and the is 6, so 2 plus 6 would be 8. So basically 8 is not. I have done a presentation on this, so we can see that that is in itself. On the is really giving a demarcation of that cycle right there. So this is the cycle. So we're taking the main points here. He rose again. Again. So we are seeing the word a. He rose a. That means that and there we see this a is used as the alpha male. We have been using this here, but this a, that he rose, meaning Jesus Christ in this sense, is like he is 13. Let's just say this. Let's do the numerical value, and here is 9615, and adding this together, that's 15 and 24. So rose would be 6, 2 plus 4. So we can see the thing that makes Christianity let's see, the meaning, or I think it would have to be the meaning, the true meaning of what holds Christianity together, is that Christ rose again. That this point here, he rose again. It's like it's the crucifixion, which I have been working on, the crucifixion, and it's that coming back to life, or coming back again. But if one had risen, meaning this is also indicating that he had risen once before and he rose again, because you can't, if it was just this one time from the grave, why have we got again? Again is meant to be, this is where we need to get our words, to think about the words. It could mean that it is for a gain, like it is for a benefit. He rose a benefit. He ignited a benefit. So to say that he rose again, he rose a benefit. He ignited something within the human spirit for that we can benefit through. So it is for a gain. It's like we say we are doing something for the benefit of all, or the greater good of all. So this is what is happened here. And this word here, for the again, of course, we see the word like the letter A, as I did before, coincides with where Christ had the agreement with his disciples, where he really went, because Christ always said that the answer is within you. It's the heart is where all manner of ill is, or all things are. But he also indicated, that means everything. That was like an emphasis, I believe, that everything is in the heart. It is not only good that you'll find in the heart, or good is, I am going to do a presentation on the word good. So basically, in this sense, is to say everything is good, because everything God did, he saw it was good. But it also consists of certain constructs of of good that we call bad or evil, because those bad or evil things are the very things that we testify tomorrow and say, oh, this was a real blessing, this happened to me. This was a real blessing, otherwise I would not have known the goodness of the Lord, and so on. So we can see that the word heart also coincides with 7. So with 7 of God creating, or the word earth. So these are things for us to see how everything is interrelated here, but also how we can identify with those things. Now, I also notice that when the two main things that we could really connect with here, because everything was about the earth. God created the heaven and earth. Heaven, of course, is 1, and earth is 7, as we've seen here. Or we haven't done the figures, but it's 7, and that would mean it's 8. Heaven and earth comes to 8, and 8 is, of course, not. But 8 is that which Mother Eve ate of the fruit. There's the cycle went on again. Again. The cycle, when something happens again, that means it is happening for a benefit. The letters I and N is actually 9 and 5, which means beginning and end. Beginning and end. So the AGA, it's like an age that is going in cycle. That's what I believe this is. Instead of having an E here, like we would have, it is AGA, AGA, but it's age. I'm doing this intuitively. So it's saying that this process of the age of this process is being in the beginning, and it's going to the end. It's going to form a cycle. This is a new cycle. That's what it is here. So now we have seen that rose is actually 6. Just double checking, 6 and 6, 12. 12, that would be 20. Is it 22? Or I've said, okay, this is 10, 21. So rose is 21. It's not 6. So rose is 21, which means that it is free. And let's do this. Okay, 9, 6, 1, 5. So this is 10 and this is 21. Okay, so the rose, of course, which is symbolic of the throne, of the crown of thorns that Christ also had. We could say, hence rose, the flower rose is seen as well, often like a romantic or even used for funerals, quite a lot for funerals. Or so we could see that the rose, the flower rose, has a very symbolic significance because it is free. And it's amazing that we would want to use it in a romantic way of trying to entice someone, whereas it is that freedom. But again, free has it has a very dynamic aspect to it, because while it has these 3 points to it, free, it also has 3 points, but it's also attached here with 2 domes, meaning like the 2 breasts, or here like the symbol of the omega in a sense. So so basically the W or the M or the free or the E. So it's very dynamic, and that means it is adaptable. So here the rose, of course, because it's adaptable, we can see why that it is so symbolic in Christianity as the Trinity. So here we can see through the numbers, through numerology, how this is presenting the how it's possible that, how we're going to term this, or come on gods, and we're free, how Christianity is still enduring as a religion, as a faith, as its construct, traditions and practices and so on. So because it rose, and it's again. So the word A, as we see, is in the middle of the heart. In the middle of the heart, we see, and there is another A, because of course and perhaps that is why we don't have an E here, we have an A, because everything must find something like itself on which to attach itself to. That's what Emmett Fox is saying. So basically we have the cycle here, and this cycle that continues here is the beginning and the end. So basically the start of A is really like 1, because 1 is really 10 and has its 9 in it. So it has to find something like itself on which to attach itself to. So here we have the G with the value of 7. G has the value of 7, but when we do the numerical value for the word 1, O-N-E, it actually equals 7. This is it. 5 plus 5 plus 6 becomes 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So 7 in actual fact is 1 right here. So 7 is 1 heart here, and this would also mean another heart there. So there is a bridge. So 7 is actually like a bridge in this sense, depending on how we position this. Of course, it's like an A that goes in a certain way. It's sort of plunked on the ground, very arrogantly saying, I can do anything. That's what I think it is really saying here. So we have the other A there. So meaning that the 7 is carrying, or it's able to project its vibration onto this other A. That is just another way of looking at it, to see if we, in fact, if we add the numerical values for this here, for 7 and 1 plus 1, this would be 9. So Christ rose that 9, meaning he rose a cycle right there. And that cycle of 9, which is the AGA, which is like age, I'm still going to say age, meaning a cycle of 7 or of 9. And of course, remember, we are talking of the 9 gods as well, the 14 gods, but the 14 gods work together and they form 9 gods. The 9 gods have their logos on our bodies, meaning they coincide with the planets, and these are the circles on our faces. So we have 7 circles to our head. So the 7 circles to our head is right here with that G. And of course we have 2 circles down below, which is here on this 2. And the in is really a position of giving, it's a position of wholeness in another sense, the cycle. Adding this together, adding 9 plus 5 gives us 14. So it's like saying the word in consists or is the makeup of the 14 gods. Hence it is said In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Basically, 14 gods created the heavens and the earth. This is another way of putting it. In the beginning, or 14 the gods, meaning they all were six in a sense, 14 6 God in the beginning, God created in the beginning, because the word beginning is 9. So this is what we are saying as well. So the gods ahead, and so he rose a 7 a in a meaning like another, or as I say, this could be seen as age. This could also be seen as the 9. So he rose his 9 circles, the 9 circles of the body, the outer body, or the 9 planets. So he rose those planets here, and there we are going into the other cycle of life right here. Or when we say the other cycle of life with the gods, because that would mean 14, or we could just say encapsulating 1 plus 4 is 5. So it's giving the signature of Mother Eve, encapsulating the 14 gods right here. So this is something that we see through Christianity. Now, when I look at the scriptures in this way, I feel if I was given this understanding, and I'm not sure many people have this understanding, to be under the term or the name or word Christianity or Christian-like, I am not sure if people really get this, or if, I don't know. I would love to believe that people do get this. I would also be inclined to believe that the people who are learning, I'm not the smartest person here at all. I really believe that people in positions of having what is termed as the flock of the congregation know those things. And on this channel, I really like to just keep things simple, in the sense of not in the sense of just highlighting and promoting what I am learning here, and not really knocking any religion or such. But I mention this in the sense that I am coming from this background. I don't think I am on my own on this journey at all. In fact, I am not on my own, with having the need to have a deeper sense of understanding of that which we have been taught scripturally. And so I make this point, and I also genuinely have an appreciation, which is really growing, that for this community or unity that churches or congregations also tend to have, that social network, or in some cases people are there for one another. And I think that is cool, and everything has its place. Everyone and everything has its purpose. So basically, I was quite happy to have had somewhere to go to and feel part of that setting. So it's in this sense that I say that. However, I'm still not going to say, I think it's time we wake up and smell the moringa. Moringa is number 5. It's moringa is a herb, and it's got a long pod, and it's also termed the tree of life. So I won't go too much into this right now. I believe it might have been the tree of good and knowledge, because of good and evil, because of its bitterness. It's really potent. It's very bitter. It could be termed as evil, but the goodness that one achieves from having this seed, it's really amazing. Okay, so Christ rose again So the word again, let's see what value we have from that. So 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 5 would be 23. So in this game, for instance, right here now, Mother Eve is present in this game. So again, to do something for again is really Mother Eve. Okay, so Mother Eve is here. In fact, I'll just put Mother Eve right here, signifying 5. So 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 plus 4, which is here, is 13. 8 plus 4 is 12, sorry. So 12 is again, we have for 12, we have 3, the number 3. This is what we are talking about. This is the free vibration we are seeing all over here. And wasn't it on the 3rd day? So on the 3rd day, Christ rose again. He rose again. We see that comes to number 3 on the 3rd day. Everything seemed to, this is what I have noticed, seem to mirror itself. They have to be a mirror. And I smile about the story of Abraham. Oh, I've got to be mindful about the time. And this is 31 actually. And I smile about Abraham and his brother Abimelech or something like this. Amazing, I think I remember the name. But in their agreement about who's going to occupy one certain side of or section of the land, or a parcel of the land, so to speak, there's another word, parcel. Parcel is used in the scriptures to, and this is what is used even now, as a parcel of land. Have we not seen that this is directly relating to the story of the Garden of Eden, meaning there was a present in the garden? Oh my God, this is amazing. There was a present, Adam and Eve was given a present in the garden. The garden, of course, is land. Okay, and the present, of course, was the serpent. So the land, of course, the parcel of land, when you buy land, you know, the land, the snakes are on lands, you know, they're on the ground. And then we are told that it is termed a parcel. We use words and we don't think about it. We use the language, we do not think about it. So, and the truth is permeated in all of the language and words that we are using, but because it has so much yeast or rising agent that loses or it sort of dilutes the flavor or essence of the story, we tend to lose it, but they are there intact. Okay, so let's look at the 3rd day. So the word 3rd day, of course, first of all, we see that Christ rose because what did he, that would be the question. What did he rise, or what was risen? What was risen? Basically, what was risen was he rose That's what it is. Wow. He rose He rose this. This is what was risen. The was risen. Now I have done I've covered this in one of the presentations. Let's see how this was risen and what it symbolizes. Okay, we'll have because it's risen, of course, we should have a bigger all right. So the 3 that we have encapsulated here, because it's a rose, or he rose. Okay, so 4 or the 13, of course, Christ also. There is the 12 disciples. We've hair as well. So he encapsulates the disciples, the 12 disciples, and Christ himself were 13. So he, of course, like God's, rose A. This was what was risen. So we have A, which has 3 lines. So, of course, there is a direct relationship here. 3 lines, it has 3 points, and 2 other hinges here. So we really have, in essence, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 points in this sense. We could say 5 points, and we have 3 lines. So these are really significant. So the 3 is here, and 5, which is what we have here for 5, if I remember, of course, it's Mother Eve right there. So he rose by concentrating on this hair which was risen encapsulates the 3 and 5, which is 8. We see that all happening right here with this letter A. So 3 hinges, 3 nails, or I call them nails, or not nails, 3 lines, let's call them lines. Well, they are lines. Now, 3, of course, these 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, actually, when we do the word 3, it equals 2. So we can see how 3 is also 2. Okay, I'm just making a point here. So here we have 5 points, and that's Mother Eve. 5 points and 5 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he rose. Again is a 5 letters, and of course equals 5. So 5 5s are 25, meaning that would be 7, 2 plus 7. This is the heart. There is much more to all of this. This is what we call art right here. This is art. This is art. And we hear HEAR of the story of T, which is 2, and also 11. We hear, we eat, EAT. We with our air, EAR. We of course there is heat, HEAT, and there is hat, HAT, and there is rat, because there's always a rat. In Christ's story, we see Judas played the rat. R-A-T. Oh, poor Judas. But we know there is much more to the story as well. So all of those things, so many things are here. And rate, because it was a business as well. We heard of the transaction. So RATE, that was the. Now another thing that was very pronounced in all of those things, that which is important to really 2 things that I need to mention here, is that there was, and we heard Jesus wept. Jesus wept. This has to be the shortest, I think it is the shortest verse in the Bible. Jesus wept. So let's just do this. Oh, okay, timing is, I'm hoping I could do short videos, but Jesus is 2, so I won't do this again. But the word wept, W-E-P-T, is 2755. So this is 17, 18, 19. So 1 plus 9, and wept, of course, is the word 9, or the number 19 takes us right here. Right here, 19. So it would encapsulate all of the sac, the reef, and the ice. And that is Mother Eve. That is water, because water is Mother Eve. Jesus wept. Okay. And of course, if we add That was a 9/11 right there. Oh my. This is what we are saying. We need to learn. Wept. Jesus wept. Wept. I'm so excited. I'm doing WEPT. Of course, 5572. 17, 18, 19. Oh, 19. Excuse me. I got a bit too over my head. So 19 is really 10. So this is 10. So we see here 10 coincides with Mother Eve's first letter, first word, LET, meaning 352. 352. So that is coinciding with 10. Here, Jesus wept, this 10, but here Jesus equals 11. So we can see 11, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, 10, 11, 12. So this this here coincides with let there be light. Jesus wept coincides with let there be light, because 10 plus 2 is 12. And of course 12 is 3. So we see the vibration of 3 is really the vibration that propels, that ignites, and that really gets the vibration that really propels things into shape, into another direction. The 3 is that which curtails the direction of the energy of anything else, of frequency, of whatever it is that we are trying to shape. So Jesus wept gives us quite a good insight right here. So 2 plus 1 again would be like the 21 we have been adding, and so on. Now let's do the third day. I know I did this before. I like that heart right here because it's also the earth. EARTH. It's also earth. So the third day, day is free. I have done this several times because it's 12. And Mother Eve also spoke of days in Genesis of chapter 1. So 2, 8, 9, 9, 4. Adding this together is 32. So we see Mother Eve is right here like again. So now, I really want people to see this. I really want people to understand more and more. I keep saying that the Bible is a mathematical construct. I hadn't looked at this before, but see what we have here. We see a pattern here. Even if the word is changed, it has the same numerical value here in Mother Eve's spell. And this is not by chance, because it's repeated here again. Let there be, the word be is 7, and there was, the word was is also 7, and we have light here. So we see that we have like there are 2 7s right here, which tells us about creation with the gods, the 2 sets of 7 gods, or 2 sets of creation, or and so on. We see those things are happening there. The single ones we have here, for instance, 1 1 1 1 would be 5. We could see another thing about Mother Eve right there in these vibrations. And the second letter is again Mother Eve, and Mother Eve is using the first vibration of 3, which is what we are learning, that anytime we want to make a change, although the number 5 is of change, but we are also learning that vibrationally that 3 is the change that we really want to ignite, because 3 is really propelling us to move on. Okay, because 2, for instance, is stable. It is like when you plant seeds, you're planting 2 seeds in the ground. Okay, we have 44 minutes on here. So I really want to do this quickly to see that we have 3 plus 5 on here, and we also have 3 plus 5 on here. So in essence, he rose again. And we had on the third okay, we the third day. So I haven't used the to see like on the maybe we could have even considered that as well, because but let's say rose again, because we are talking about he. These are 4 words rather. Rose again, third day. These are the things that happen that really make Christianity recognized for what it is. So this, of course, 5 plus 3 is 8, and 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 and 8 is 16, 1 plus 6 is 7. And that's how we see another creation, as Mother Eve is now calling us to say, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, on this 7-year cycle that we are moving into. So what is going to be our template or our mantra or our rising again, or the A, which is happening right here? There is a lot we can learn from all of this. So basically we are talking about the heart of the earth, the heart of who we are, the land that we are. Because here the word land also equals 13, and we are the land right there. So thank you. I find this to be quite intriguing. There is so much more for us to learn, and do stick around, please. And I must say, I am very appreciative of your comments. And is it May Rain, thank you so much for your comments. And forgive me, I think you have a 77 if I recall. Now this is synchronicity. Sorry, I'm personalizing this little bit of message here, but I really believe that is synchronicity